The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys!
Blowing out of the backfield, exploding down the sideline.
This is Hangin' with the Boys, presented by Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings. Now, your hosts, Nate Newton, Kurt Daniels, Jesse Holley, and Shannon Gross.
What'd you say?
Hump day! Hump day. That's the weather in Buffalo.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Okay.
I'm letting you know.
You're
Yeah, I
live
know.
at Tostitos Championship Plaza outside Ford Center at the Star in Frisco, Texas, where it is 59 degrees. Feels like 56. The high today is 60. The low tonight is 42. In Buffalo, it is 35 with a high of 35 and a low of 28. And
Ooh, that's cold. He's Kurt. That is Nate. This is Shannon. In the back is Chris Beam keeping us on the air. I am Zaddy Holly. Together, we make Hanging with the Boys, the sports talk equivalent of prayer. People
Feel these Cowboys from the Rome on her. Boy, I tell you what. Here we go.
Speak.
Yes.
can't wait for the show today. Nate is so hyped up.
This segment is brought to you.
Oh, yeah, by Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings.
Wings. We need you to fly this week, boy. We need Cook. Come on, baby.
Nate was so pumped up, we had to tell him to hold it for the air. Save your breath. Wow. And then he had to point at my my cup on the
He warned you.
He warned you.
on the desk to pick it up because
Yeah, they ain't like the water.
No.
Chris
Thanks
come
for the
here
warning.
raising a whole lot of sand.
thanks for the warning.
Yeah.
Speaking of the weather, Sunday, Buffalo is forecasted to be 48 with a high of 48, low of 40, but a 44% chance of precipitation. So,
What time is that game?
interesting. 3?
325. 325.
Ooh, it'll be going into the to the
Those
Dodgers.
are
Chilling.
Let's talk about that real quick. And of course, it's not on the rundown today, so why wouldn't we
Almost
talk
added
about
it.
it?
Almost
Did you?
added it,
The
yeah.
weather, those games on the East Coast, when they're a 3:00 game, and the sun's out, and you're out there for warm-ups, and you're like, man, it's 48. I'm gonna take my shirt off. It feels good. I'm gonna go without sleeves, and then about halfway through that first or second quarter, and that sun goes down behind the stadium, it completely changes. Does that affect you when you're not a cold weather guy, so you take it
It
first?
does me.
Yeah.
It that happened going up into Philly. It was 3, and everybody, and I'm trying to, I see Stepnoski out there with the cutoff, and, he's from Pittsburgh, and I'm like, yeah. It didn't even last through half of the warm-ups. Hey, Coach, I got to use the restroom.
I went back and put sleeves
I ran
on.
back in. I was like, Mike McCoy, I need this. Man, when I came out, I couldn't move. I could not move.
So you were
It
not-
affected me.
What
So,
temperature did it affect you at?
when it got
40s?
40 with any type of wind, it got me. 40 with any type of wind.
40 no wind and above, you're good.
I'm good. I will ride all day. The Warriors fat can handle. But 40 with wind, I have no Warriors fat that can handle.
And what about you, Jess?
I didn't play the mental games. It's cold. Like, let's call it what it is. Like I never got into the whole it's mental and I'm coming with my
I'm
t-shirt.
a tough guy. Look at me.
Never. Give me whatever it is I'm supposed to have for this
To get through this next 4 hours.
100%.
I remember asking Steph after the game, I said, Steph, it was cold, man. I said, how did you make it, man? He said it was cold. He did just like Jess. He said it was cold, and I just had to play.
I do the whole spray your feet with deodorant. So
Deodorant. Never heard that before.
Because you get frostbite because your feet in these boots they sweat and then they get cold. So you spray deodorant on them, or you put deodorant on them,
Keep your socks dry.
keep you from sweating, keep your feet from actually getting cold. If it's cold and wet, then some players will have like Ziploc bags or plastic bags. You put your feet in a plastic bag and then put them into your cleats, so that way the water isn't soaking through.
Did you do the Vaseline on the arms?
Vaseline, but I did the Vaseline on the arm. I Vaseline on the arms. If it got cold enough, I'm putting on long thermal sleeves. Like I always wore tights.
Did you have the little hand warmer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I don't.
This knuckle has never recovered from the cold.
Is that what it
That's why
is?
it's always super ashy.
Yeah,
Never recovered.
I never bought into the theory of it's mental. Let's just
High school, did you play in some cold?
yeah.
Yeah.
And I bundled up. I bundled
You never.
up
He
all the
telling
times.
you never bought it.
I never bought into the whole hype of yelling, screaming, shirts off. I never. It is cold out here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to prepare for the weather.
Probably the worst part for you guys because both of you had to use your hands,
Yep.
right? Catching is if you ever try to catch a football in the cold weather, it feels like a rock.
Yep.
I can only imagine it coming out from a professional quarterback that's slinging it. So your hands are probably the worst, right? And then you have to grip, right, and grab.
That you talking about a guy value time of possession? I wanted, Coach, why are we passing? Just run the ball and we can run the clock out. And Coach Norris turned to look at me like, we are trying to, win this game. And I'm looking at him like, hey, man, we really don't care.
And then I'll take it even a step further from me because again, you're talking to a 6-time Pro Bowler, right? So when they came off the field, he and his offensive linemen, especially the starters, were privy to the benches.
That's right.
To the heat.
Right.
The Jag is not. When we come off the
You
field,
don't have a spot.
no,
First come, first serve.
it ain't no first come first serve.
It's like-
Seniority.
It's Tony.
we're a group.
It's,
We're a group.
Yeah, so it's Tony, it's Miles, it's
Right.
Dez, it's Roy. It's the folks who actually going out there putting in real. I'm standing there
By the
like,
heater?
I'm trying.
If there's room.
I don't get big jackets. Mike McCord and Bucky and them, when I came off the
We
field,
out.
they weren't looking for me to be like, hey, you need a jacket? They were like, move. Like, where's 9 at? Where's 19? Where's 29? Where's 23? Like, they looking for those
I remember.
82.
I remember that. We came off the field, the O-line, we go to the field, and a couple of the backups, and Coach Wise, hey, fellas, did y'all?
Yeah,
Did y'all? And the backups looking at us like, hey, man.
And I didn't want to get embarrassed because I knew it was coming, so you just get out the way.
Just don't even bother.
Wow, that was fun. Yeah, I remember that.
What am I going to tell Jason Witten when he comes off the field that he wants to sit down on the heated bench in front of the heat blowers?
Yeah.
Nah, I was here first.
Oh,
Get
that
up.
was funny.
Get
That was
move,
funny.
like, and I don't then, like right, like the man in me is not gonna let you tell me just move. Now it's a situation,
Right.
Where I'm in the wrong. You know the rules.
Yeah.
You know the rule. 82's
know the hierarchy.
coming off.
You know the
88's coming off. 19's coming off. Get up, move.
And then when they're on the field and somebody else is on the bench, you still can't get it.
Because
The defense is on the.
I gotta be ready, right? So I gotta stand there. That's about the only time I get a jacket is when the offense goes on. They're like, all right,
I'll hold it for you, Tony.
yeah, I got
got
it. You know what I'm saying? And hope that I'm getting in, and then that is the difference. It's like you know your place and don't get outside of that.
Does it affect your play? Does it affect?
Yeah.
I mean,
You
it's
can't-
a real thing. It's
you
not
can't
just.
fully get warmed up. Like you're never like when you try to get that good lather. Like you could tell a dude who got a good lather going before pregame. Like I'm good. I'm right. Everything your icy hot or whatever you using is kind of really is soaked in. Your lather is good. You ready to go. But when it's cold, you can't really ever. It just seems like as much as I try to get loose, it's still.
A little tight.
Yeah,
Tense.
because you don't want the lather when it's cold outside. You're like,
Right.
because I'm wet and the lather is not. So you never really quite get where you need to get. You know, you know what I'm saying. And then if you sit too long,
Yeah.
Tighten up.
And just to go a little deeper, that is why
what she
you
said.
see. Wow, that is why you see bigger quarterbacks play in outdoor environment with strong arms. When you saw the Flutie up there in Buffalo playing, it was like, wow, that was special. Because normally you want the bigger guy, the Daniel Jones, the kid that we're getting ready to play. You want those bigger, strong arm guys that can force it in there because that wind can be a difference maker.
Yeah.
That cold can be a difference
That's a big
maker.
thing. That's a big thing up in Buffalo. That stadium gets a yeah.
Swirl.
Yeah.
A swirl.
Big
same
yeah.
thing with New York. Same
Yeah.
thing with New York. They comes in that tunnel and that thing it's swirling.
Affects passes
Oh, man.
and kicks.
Let's call these Parcells. Yeah, he be like, all right, let them warm up, let them kick with the things closed, let them do all this stuff with both ends closed. As soon as the game started, open up all the doors.
I don't remember which game it was, but it was a Buffalo game in the snow, and they were kicking pregame, and literally they would kick to the left or the right side of the goalpost, and it would blow it out the other side. And they were like, you know what? We're just going to go for it. Mm-hmm. Once you get past the 50, just go for it every fourth down. So,
well, you had that because the rain chances are going up. I mean, they're now 40%. They were like under 10 just a day or two
Chris.
ago. So, yeah, Chris, dude, rough time ahead.
Yeah.
That's got to make it even worse.
yeah.
But the next week he gets to go to Miami, so you know.
Yeah, that's a fair trade.
Christmas Eve.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, who wants to be dealing with those kids on Christmas Eve?
Christmas in Miami.
I mean, you got a
Explain
kid
that
that's
to your
bigger than
wife.
you.
Chris just give him his own clothes now. Just hand me that.
Yeah.
Just rewrap them.
See, Chris, if you were smart, you just would have had the family come to Miami. I just would have spent Christmas in Miami.
Stay an extra day.
Yeah.
He can't do that.
Why
Too
not?
many shows.
Oh, that's
got to pay
right.
for that big kid he got.
Nah, we're not doing the show.
gotta feed him.
We're not doing the show. Monday is Christmas.
Yeah,
We're not doing the show on Christmas.
Oh, I'll be doing it
This
from the
may be
house.
breaking. We're not going to do a show.
Yeah, I'll do a
Breaking
show.
news. No
Hey,
show
breaking
on the
news.
25th.
Jesus' birthday.
Yeah, I'll do.
outdoor shows.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm gonna do a show all about the Christmas.
I'll do
all
it
about
with
the
you.
real
I'll do it
Christmas.
with you.
Yeah, we'll
I'll
do
use
a
that
real
$10.
Christmas.
I'm not.
Yeah, yeah.
Can't wait to tune in to that.
And I'm gonna wake up when I just call you when I wake up.
It's never gonna happen.
Just do a
Never
dial-in
gonna
show.
happen, yeah.
All right, so before we got on the air, Nate and Jesse were having a conversation because, you know, this show's all about pulling the curtain back and telling on each other.
Yeah.
But Nate was saying, I think as a fan, you've kind of seen the Bills slide from what we thought they were probably halfway, you know, through the first part of the season, right? And it's kind of like they seem mortal now, right? Like you should be able to go up there and beat them, is what you're saying now as a fan. But 4 or 5 weeks ago, you were like, man, that's a coin flip, right? But Nate, you're saying this is a really good team, right? With a good quarterback. Still.
Yeah. And so, but we're gonna talk about their defense, right?
Correct.
You can turn on the film all you want and fool yourself. These players over there are not. These guys only giving up 18.8 points a game. Now you can score.
I didn't
mean,
realize
you
that.
can 20 to 20. You can do it. They're giving up 340 yards a game. You can get from 20 to 20, but it's that red zone. Their head coach, Sean McDermott, is the defensive coordinator. So all else may fail, but he got these guys playing. All of these guys are running. I mean, Ed Oliver, that first-round pick 3 or 4 years ago, I think he had 6.5 sacks. They went out and got Leonard Floyd from another team. If I'm not mistaken, he got 9.5 sacks. They got 42 sacks altogether. Now, you can run on them. They giving up 4.7 yards average, but only 114 a game. So you can hit them for a big clip here, a big clip there, but overall, you're not going to run the ball just repeatedly at them. They have 12 interceptions, 11 fumble recoveries. These guys are playing good football. They got some guys that can run. They got Tyrell Dotson, Tyrell Bernard. Those are your linebackers, 25 and 43. They got Greg Rousseau. Is I'm pronouncing that right?
Who?
Greg Rousse. I can't pronounce it, but anyway.
I don't know.
And
Come on, Kurt. You're a pronunciation guy.
Yeah, yeah, he's number 50.
Russo.
The one thing I like about these guys, even their big guys, even their inside guys, they can run pretty well. Linval Joseph, they can run. They can move sideways pretty good. They hustle to the ball pretty. You know I only watched 2 games. That was this past game against Kansas City, and I watched the Philadelphia game. And they'll run a few games, few TEs here and there, but I'm telling you, they're gonna give you an effort, man. They're gonna give you an effort. And the New York Jets, they lost to Jacksonville, which was a good game. They lost. And then you know that Denver game, I don't know. Denver's been on the tear, so I don't want to knock them. And they lost to Philly in overtime, and a lot of people question that game. I don't question refs' calls. I don't get into that. But and I hate to say this because you are what you are at this time of year, but 2 or 3 of these losses, man, if their quarterback would have just got out of the way, they could have probably won them, you know.
How did Philly beat them? Just looking at the stats, they ran a bunch. Is that the key?
That's where I'm going.
When we come back on the second segment of Hanging with the Boys. We'll be right back.
Fall is here, and that means football is back, bringing all the delicious game day foods with it. As you prep for all the big games, tailgates, and watch parties, let Yo Quiero be your one-stop destination for all things home gating. Yo Quiero's fresh, flavorful, ready-to-serve guacamole made with real Hass avocados will score taste bud touchdowns as you cheer on the Cowboys. Yo Quiero's wide range of mouthwatering and versatile products can be found in your local grocery store's produce or deli section. Grab some today.
Star Sports Tours is the only official fan travel partner of the Dallas Cowboys, offering exclusive game weekend travel packages with pre-game sideline access and photo ops with current players, cheerleaders, and Cowboy legends. You want to stay at a team hotel, attend the best tailgate party in Texas, tour the Star, and talk X's and O's with me, Everson Walls? With Star Sports Tours, you can. Visit cowboystravel.com to book your travel package today.
SeatGeek has your back no matter what kind of Cowboys fan you are. So whether you're a diehard fan or a don't really care fan, a we got 'em next time fan or we'll never win again fan, a here for the tailgate fan or a first one through the gates fan, SeatGeek not only makes buying and selling tickets easier than ever before, they made just about everything else easier too. So whether you're a here every week fan or haven't been here in years fan, SeatGeek has you covered. Download the SeatGeek app today. SeatGeek, your ticket to great Dallas Cowboys seats.
How's Wingstop sound? Crispy, juicy classic wings. Made to order, cooked to perfection. And sauced and tossed in those 11 soul-satisfying flavors. Paired with hand-cut seasoned fries, house-made honey mustard, blue cheese, or signature Wingstop ranch. And of course, spicy Cajun fried corn. I think you've heard enough. Get your flavor delivered at wingstop.com.
Back to Hanging with the Boys.
Welcome back to the second segment of Hanging with the Boys, brought to you each and every day by blockchain.com. Thank you, blockchain.com. And Jesse.
Yes.
You said that's where you're going. Where are you going, man?
After I come back from the TPs, I'm going. No. No. So, some great points by Nate. Remember last week when the Cowboys took on the Philadelphia Eagles, I said, pass.
I still love
Pass, and pass some more. They're burnt, they're toast in Philadelphia, right?
Yep.
Pass.
You flipping it on us this week?
I'm going the complete opposite this week. This week, it is run, and run some more. It has nothing to do with the weather. It has nothing to do with the wind. It has nothing to do with any of the things.
Wait a minute. Do you activate a third running back?
We're not doing 100. Well, 100 Linsky will be,
No,
You wouldn't deuce.
You wouldn't.
Yeah.
No. The wind might blow him out. So he don't weigh enough to run in this weather. But the running back room should have a really, really, really good day. And I love what Mike McCarthy did last week when you see the carries being divvied up.
Was he ramping up for this game?
It felt like it. Like when you go, now when you look at it, like when I'm looking at this game,
he was already looking ahead.
And I'm like, okay. But even week before that, you started seeing. We talked about it. You started seeing the carries between Rico and Tony Pollard kind of. Hey, let's get these guys about 12, 14 carries apiece. It might not always be even, but be close. And last week, I think it was 16 carries to 12 carries.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You hear that echo? That just me? You did something, Nate.
Oh,
okay, there we go. And so you were able to see the distribution between those two backs. The big thing about this unit, and I'm blaming Aaron Donald. This is who I blame for what has happened in this league. There used to be a time, we used to be a proper nation. This league used to be a proper league where dudes who were 340, 50 pounds, 30, 40, 50 pounds, understood their purpose. They understood be fat and be a whole eater. That didn't come out right, but
We know what you meant.
Eat up blocks.
We know what you meant.
Eat up,
Really?
eat up blocks.
Yeah.
There used to be a time. There used to be a proper time in this nation where football players who weighed 300 and plus pounds were block eaters.
It wasn't a sexy position.
It wasn't a sexy position. Then along came Aaron Donald, who unicorned himself
Yes.
into a place where he was close to 300 pounds, a little bit less, but he played a defensive tackle, right? He played in the A gaps, a 1 technique, a 3 technique, or a bear at times over the center, and he got to the quarterback. He was able to get to the quarterback and record double-digit sacks. I played with Vince Wilfork in New England, and he was fat. I'm not fat shaming.
He was sexy in them overalls, though.
I won't go that far. You like
boots.
big black men. Whatever floats your boat. As my grandmother used to say, whatever floats your boat, whatever tickles your pickle. Whatever you need to do on your spare time, you do. But Vince Wilfork understood his purpose.
Yes, he did.
He understood that if you single blocked me, I was going to take whoever was over top of me and I was going to walk him into the backfield. So you better design your offense the week you played New England to allot 2 guys to Vince Wilfork. And he just was there to be fat. He would engage, turn sideways, anchor down, eat up 2 blocks. Izzo, Vrabel, Mayo, all the linebackers that played in New England was like, thank you. Now we're free flowing to go do what we have to do. Today's football, the dudes who are 300 pounds, they think that they're Von Miller. They want to go and rush the passer. They want to go get sacks. They want to do their sexy sack dance, and they want to do all this kind of stuff, and they're forgetting their purpose on the field. Yeah. And when I watch Buffalo in the trenches, I watch a lot of guys who stand straight up. I watch a lot of guys who are taking on blocks damn near vertically.
What's that mean?
Straight up.
That means straight up. That means
Right.
when I go to
Is that a good thing or a bad
No, it's a
Bad.
bad thing. When you're in the trenches, you want to always have the low man win theory. Low man controls what is happening.
Get your pads down. Get your
pads
hands down.
Anchor down. Now once I'm low and I'm up under you, I can pretty much do what I want to you. But if I'm high and I'm looking up here and your hands are in my chest and I'm outside of you like this, now you can drive me anywhere. You just beep,
Like
beep.
Stern wheel.
Beep, beep. You know what I'm saying? Who got the keys to my Jeep? I'm driving you. And when I watched Buffalo, first thing that popped up the table, I was like, boy, are these some high, vertical, defensive players. Both of y'all can't go outside. We're trying to do a show here. But that was what was happening. Yeah. So I look at that and I go, great.
Yeah.
Let's run the football. Let's get Terrence Steele doing what he does best. Let's get the best young left tackle in football, Tyler Smith, doing what he does best. Let's get Tyler Biadasz moving forward. Let's get all of our hogs moving forward. Let's eat some of that grass up. Let's make some dirt mounds in that grass from just driving our feet, and then now let Tony Pollard and Rico Dowdle kind of look and feel and play off that. I'm not saying that you have to go downhill every single time, but I think when we come back and look at this game, this isn't going to be one of the games where we say, boy, Dak Prescott lit it up. Just my opinion. Yeah. They have some good corners out there. Rasul Douglas is their corner. Christian Benford, think about this for a second. Christian Benford, he was one of the guys who, he's a 6th-round pick. They went and got a kid. I think the kid, his uncle or his dad, Abe Elam, who used to play
Abe
here.
Elam, I remember that.
And either his son or his nephew, they drafted pretty high. Well, he's outplayed him and is getting in he's a starting corner. And then their safeties are pretty good as well, Poyer and Micah Hyde. Remember Micah Hyde, we saw him a lot when he played for Green Bay. So they got some good guys on the back end. They can play some ball on the back end. But this is going to be a game where I think the yards per carry is going to be over 5. And you can look at this team and say, man, we did 138 last week. This can be a game where you can talk about the Cowboys having 160, 170, 175 total yards rushing the football. This is the game. You know, Luke Schoonmaker, you're not doing much for us in the passing portion of the offense. Now this is your time to really dig in and become a road grader. This game is going to be won behind the running game. And I love that. And the reason why I love that is because as you get ready to go into the playoffs, unless something astronomically wild changes, you're going on the road.
Yeah.
You're going on the road. And one of the things that Nate loves and talks about consistently is time of possession. When you're on the road, if you can get time of possession offensively, what that does is that eliminates the home crowd. If you're driving the ball down the field 7, 8, 9, 10 play drives, that crowd doesn't have a chance to get into it. And that's going to be eating up clock, being able to run the football because, you know, in the playoffs, everything tightens. And having a decent run game, I'm not saying that you have to have one of the best run games in the nation, but you have to have a run game that is formidable. You have to have a run game that's doing well on the average per carry. If you can stay in that conversation of 4.5, 4.8, 5 yards a carry, now you are rocking and rolling. I think the Cowboys, and maybe last week was an indication of how they wanted to do it, but I think this is going to be a week where Tony Pollard and Rico Dowdle are going to absolutely eat in this game because of the way that these guys play. And they got good guys. Like you said, Greg Russo is a good player. Ed Oliver is a former first-round pick, Pro Bowler. He's a good player. Jordan Phillips, Von Miller, Linval Joseph, A.J. Espinza. He's one of the guys who leads the league in tip passes. He caught an interception last week off a tip pass. Punda Ford. They have some of the dudes in there. Leonard Floyd, all those guys want to get to the quarterback. To use the term that Dan Quinn uses a lot of times, it's a privilege to pass rush. They missed the privilege part. They just want to pass rush. All the guys want to pass rush. I'm telling you, and they all have their sack dances that they want to get to. We can and should win the line of scrimmage and run the football. If we stick to that, Don't deviate from that, even if they get a stop for a loss or something like that. Running the football is what's going to win you this game against this defense, because if you think you're going to pass the ball 30, 40 times, they have some really good pass rushers that want to get to the quarterback. They do not want to commit to stopping the run.
Can they win if they do stop? If the Cowboys don't commit to the run, can they still win?
Yeah, they can still win, but
tougher road.
Yeah, you're now towing a road that's going to be very difficult because they want to get and they send pressure from a lot of different angles. They'll blitz both of their linebackers. They'll send cornerback blitzes. They'll send safety blitzes. Micah Hyde will blitz from depth. They'll send Rasul Douglas on a blitz. 25, what's 25's name? Dotson, Bernard. Yeah. I've seen them blitz both of them at the same time. They're about pressure. They want to get pressure. They want to send blitzes when you're passing. They blitzed Patrick Mahomes often. That was part of the reason why they were able to win that game in Kansas City was the timely blitzes that Buffalo put on Patrick Mahomes. So
Dak's really good against the blitz, though.
He is really good, but these corners are good. They have some really good corners, really good safety play, and there isn't a guy on that front line that isn't at least above average when it comes to rushing the passer. You know what I mean? Like they're like even Ed Oliver, like he's above average, even being a defensive tackler at rushing the passer, at getting to the quarterback.
They'll run. Guys that'll run, you know, I've always noticed this. Guys that can run and will run, big guys. Their big guys will get after you. They will run. Like you say, Jess said, they'll get up high, but they'll turn. You can look at the film. They'll turn and run. Mm-hmm. And so guys like that, if they decide to get down low and to play from that leverage point of view, that'll run, it's hard to run on those guys. Mm. It's hard to – if they get their leverage, because Joseph, we know from Philadelphia, was a decent passer, but he was a run stopper. Like my man said, that unicorn done fooled everybody. You know, everybody can't be Aaron Donald. Mm-hmm. I mean, but this team has 42 sacks.
That's what they want to do.
Yeah.
They want to get to the
Are they coaching them to do that? Because you would think if they were concerned, they would put it down, or is it just
No,
the way it
it's
is?
the league. That's just the way. Like, look at everybody in the league now. Like, even look at our guys.
I
Right?
promise you, the D-line coach saying, fellas, leverage, pad leverage. They probably just they probably got written on the wall, pad leverage.
Yeah.
If you're walking higher than this,
And that's the right. But that's the core belief of a coach, right? Come on, guys, pad level. They go, we got 42 sacks, coach. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's a give,
leverage
it's a
don't
give
pay
and a
the
take.
bills.
Right? It's like pad leverage.
Yeah.
No, I get paid if I go get 6 sacks. If I'm a DT and I go get 6 sacks, and so that's why when you look at, you see the numbers are so high for the linebackers and tackles and stuff like that, because those guys don't want to stop nothing in the middle. They will, because it's a part of the job, but the fat boys aren't like, the days of the fat boys being fat and just saying my job is to be fat in the middle of this thing and just hold down the fort and let these other guys do it. These guys are now like, and again, it's a universal thing. It's not just Buffalo. It's a look at our own team. There's a reason why Dan Quinn says it's a privilege to pass rush, because all them cats looking at Mike and saying, hell, he don't get all the fun. Let me go get a couple of these sacks too.
Gallimore had to reassess himself. Like, I'm finna be out of here.
Yeah.
If I don't learn how to stop this run. But just it's amazing, Jess, that we both have spoken thoroughly.
That's amazing
Von
in
Miller
itself that y'all had time to both speak thoroughly.
Von Miller, he's still there.
Mm-hmm.
So number 40, he's still there and hasn't made that impact. I don't know if he's still trying to get back from his injury a year or so ago.
They use him.
Yeah.
They use Von Miller like pass specific.
Yeah.
Right. Like, he's not in on early rundowns. Like, he's in when it's 3rd and 8.
He's a specialist.
He's become the Mariano Rivera of this
And
team.
he can still get you too.
He can his bend. All right, you hear talking about the guys who bend. His ability to get up under
Get to
those
the
blocks
edge and
get up and still and never lose momentum though. Right? It's one thing to be.
Did you have that?
Yeah.
I was trying to get on his microphone. You saw me swimming under.
But to be able to not lose speed when you bend,
Yes.
right? Think of NASCAR. Think about those guys when those guys are going
Centrifugal
200
force.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever that means.
That means you're going so fast that they have to bank the turns
Yes.
at a certain angle so you don't fly off the track.
What is that
Yeah.
called?
Centrifugal force.
You've contributed to our show today.
So you know the drill, and you probably
Centrifugal?
centrifugal.
Centrifugal.
Yeah. Center,
I'm using that
basically center force, centrifugal force.
Okay.
So
I'm using that on my show later on.
most people have never seen the defensive end drill where they put the big hula hoops on the ground.
Yeah.
And
big circles.
The guys
run
you
around.
basically run full speed, and you lean in so far that it because you're going so fast that it keeps you upright. It's like leaning forward when you're on an airplane when the plane's taking off, right? But real good guys like Von Miller and your great pass rushers can damn near get their shoulder on the ground as they're going
Randy
around the
Gregory.
corner.
Oh,
I mean, Randy Gregory. Was a
Gregory.
great one.
Oh my
Like,
God,
I mean,
they don't
DeMarcus
even bring
Ware. I
that
played with
up.
DeMarcus Ware.
If you've never seen it, TV doesn't do it justice. Like, if you've never seen it in person, with literally can put a pinky on the ground and come all the way
think
around.
about like those motorcycles, like when they like lean
Yeah.
in. They call it ghost now. They call it the ghost move. It's
Drifting,
like
ghost drift.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well, because when they'll come and that tackle will get ready to go and like you'll see him and he'll go to punch and whoop and he up under that punch and it's like
because
he
once you
looking
get that shoulder past
it's a wrap.
Past basically
outside shoulder,
they're
outside
outside.
of- yeah.
You can't do anything about it.
They're
Except hold
pushing
them
you
or
right.
push them out.
Yeah, they're gonna
right?
push you right into the quarterback. 'cause
Right into
once-
the quarterback. There ain't no
Yeah.
push him out. They're going to push him right into
Yeah.
the quarterback. You better go on and grab him because he's going to be a 15-yard loss.
And so that's one of the things that I do worry about if you find yourself in those passing downs because let's be honest, Terrence Steele has struggled the last couple of weeks, and all season. If we're being completely honest, he has struggled, and the one thing that Von Miller is really good at is the setup, right? His speed to power and speed to speed, like, is second to
gears.
none. It's like literally he is the catalyst when you look at a guy to go from speed to power. And I mean, come off the ball quick. Unlike let me not take a shot at anybody coming off the ball.
Thank you.
But yes, I'm sorry. Coming off the ball, and then in your mind as a tackle is I got to get out here and get set because I know he's coming with speed. And then he catches you in that set and he stabs you in the chest with power.
Nothing you can do about that.
And nothing you can do about that. He just walks you back. Now I just walk. So now the next rep, you're saying, okay, now I got to set right now because here comes I got to set and be ready for the power. And you set early to be ready for the power, ghost you. He's past you, right? So those are the things that you have to look for, like that. That's why I say you got to stay ahead of the change in this running game, man. Stay ahead of the change so that you get to 3rd and 3 and 3rd and 4, and now you can mix up your bag of how you want to attack these guys. Because if you're getting that 3rd and long, the pressure's coming. Yeah.
Cowboys are a 1.5 point underdog.
Yeah, it's Vegas for you.
Yep, and the over/under is 50.5. Interesting, you got the number as far as points given up per game. You got the Cowboys at 4, giving up 17.9, and you got Buffalo at 6, giving up 18.8. Factor in a cold weather game, it could be low scoring, but watch it be 50-49 or something like that. All right, let's take our last break. When we come back, more football talk on Hanging with the Boys.
I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys.
And they snap it to Prescott, who looks right. It's not there. He escapes left. He'll run for a first down.
Just like football, when it comes to crypto, it's important to have a team you can trust. With blockchain.com, I know I'm in good hands. Since 2011, they've been trusted by millions around the world to buy, sell, and trade cryptocurrency.
Prescott's going to run this himself. Run it up the middle, and he scores.
Whether you're new to crypto or an active trader, they've got you covered. What are you waiting for? Get started at blockchain.com.
How's Wingstop sound? Crispy, juicy, classic wings. Made to order, cooked to perfection. And sauced and tossed in those 11 soul-satisfying flavors. Paired with hand-cut seasoned fries, house-made honey mustard, blue cheese, or signature Wingstop ranch. And, of course, spicy Cajun fried corn. I think you've heard enough. Get your flavor delivered at wingstop.com.
SeatGeek has your back no matter what kind of Cowboys fan you are. So whether you're a diehard fan or a don't really care fan, a we got 'em next time fan or we'll never win again fan, a here for the tailgate fan or a first one through the gates fan, SeatGeek not only makes buying and selling tickets easier than ever before, they made just about everything else easier too. So whether you're a here every week fan or haven't been here in years fan, SeatGeek has you covered. Download the SeatGeek app today. SeatGeek, your ticket to great Dallas Cowboys seats.
James Wright here, your 2022 Dallas Cowboys Fan of the Year. You know how much I love my Cowboys, and I am thrilled to be talking to you about the 2023 Fan of the Year award presented by Captain Morgan. We're looking for the ultimate Cowboys fan to spice up the game. That means you eat, sleep, and breathe the Dallas Cowboys. If that's you, or if you know someone like me, then go to DallasCowboys.com/fan of the year and you could win tickets to Super Bowl 58 and so much more. Enter today.
That was off the air as long as Nate doesn't say it.
You're on. We're live.
You're back. Why didn't you say we're back? You're on means something different than you're back.
We're going to get fired.
No, we're fine. Welcome back to the final segment of Hanging with the Boys, brought to you each and every day by Jigsaw, the official dating partner of the Dallas Cowboys. And we're just talking mainly the Bills' defense, a little bit of Cowboys' offense. So
we had a physics teacher weigh in on your centrifugal.
Oh.
It's
John, what's up?
Centripetal force.
It's not centrifugal.
Don't do that.
I'm gonna go against this.
Let's not do that. Like you're from the trailer parks in Louisiana.
It's a combination of speed and force along a circular path. That's from James Runnels IV. Thank you, sir.
And what is he? What's the problem?
Man, I've been saying.
I know James, and he's not the scientist. His better half is she's the one.
I've been saying this wrong my entire life.
Well, there's centrifugal force and there's centripetal force, and he's saying it's centripetal.
And there's a centrifugal force.
All right.
Okay, which one is the racetrack?
I'm not using it on my show because y'all not going to have me out here looking crazy.
I don't know. I have to do some research.
Ask James which one is the racetrack.
James
force.
Sent it to you, too.
Okay.
So you can double check with him.
Centripetal force.
By the way, we found out from that last tour that to come by here about 1:20, take the 12 o'clock tour. We've had a lot of people ask us what time the tour is. So there you go. What is there a centrifugal force?
Listen, just let it go, bro.
Yes, there is a centrifugal.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
Centrifugal force.
What is that?
That has something to do with speed and force, but I don't.
Okay.
Talk to James.
All right, we'll figure all this out. I just want to make sure I hadn't been made a word up my entire life and nobody corrected me. By the way, is there any way to look up what Dak's record is below a certain temperature at kickoff? I feel since it's Wednesday. How you mentals and dentals, Jesse?
Mentals and dentals is good. Got therapy today. Okay. Well, we want you to go to the doctor to make sure your physicals is all right.
I'm gonna start getting docked here at the beginning of the year. I'm gonna do it. I just forgot. Kurt, how
do
you
you
mentals and dentals?
every day?
Because I don't think about it.
Kurt said he's good.
Nothing's ailing me. How you doing, Nate? Mentals and dentals. While we're on the subject.
I was trying to learn how to say this word we've been using, and I'm finna say it, not only say the word wrong, I'm finna use it the wrong way. I'm gonna be triple slammed. That's how I feel, Shannon.
Okay. Sorry. All right, back on football. What were we even talking about?
Who knows?
You was talking about Von Miller.
I know that part. I was talking about after we came back from break. All right. Dax. I feel like his cold weather record is not great, but I don't have any information to back that up.
I mean, he grew up in Louisiana, played at Mississippi State. Right. He probably doesn't have a whole lot of experience playing in cold weather.
Because I remember the one snow game he had was against the Giants his rookie year, I believe. And I don't think he did very well in that game.
They had a game in Pittsburgh. I don't know how cold it was then, though. When Zeke took the remember Zeke, was that in Pittsburgh?
Oh yeah, that was overtime.
It don't matter. They need to win.
Overtime touchdown.
But that Chicago game you were at, was he in that?
No, that was Tony.
They need to win.
We need to ask Barry about that because I'm pretty sure Barry ran out with no sleeves on and had the little mask
I bet you
on.
Barry regrets
But he
that.
played up in Toledo, bro.
I think he ran out and ran to the end zone and ran back and went and put him some clothes on that game. That was miserable. You ever been more miserable than that, Chris?
I'm going to cut you off.
In Chicago?
Yes.
That was the coldest game I've ever been to.
So did you not go to that Pittsburgh game in like 07 or 08?
Yes, I was at that one as well.
Like that's what I hear that one like
no.
Like all the guys that I've like when I got to the Cowboys, they was like, bro,
no.
Pittsburgh.
Chicago was the probably coldest.
Okay.
Chicago was so cold. I had a buddy that went and got a beer in a plastic cup like this and sat it down on the concrete between his legs. You know, took a drink, put it down. Next time he went to take another drink, it was frozen solid. Like solid, not just like crust on the top. Like could not drink his beer because it was
This
frozen.
is how I know it was so cold in Chicago. I couldn't feel my hands so much that I would go over and I would sit my hands on the bench, right? So I go over there and I sit on the bench to try to get the feeling back in my hands. And one time I go back over there and I'm having my hand on the bench and Mike McCourt also has his hand on the bench. And he basically brings all the cold weather gear. So I'm like, okay, it's cold out here.
Yeah.
So.
Kurt, run us through some stats that you sent us. There's a lot to go through.
Stats.
Yeah, you sent us in the group text.
Oh, let me find them here.
Oh,
well,
wow.
some of it was
such a terrible host.
some of it was you covered a lot of the rushing stuff. That was good to hear. What else is there?
Look on your phone, maybe quicker.
No, it's on his laptop.
Yeah, it's on
Is
my
it really?
laptop. Yeah.
Well, you got to say something.
Okay. Well, I mean, we talked about the running game. It's a passing game. Is Dak gonna? You said they rush the passer. They have a pretty good secondary. Is Dak at a place now where that's who cares? Is there anybody they got to watch out for? Steer clear of.
Rasul Douglas, like he is the guy. Like he is the guy in their secondary that is. If we talk about like the attitude in the secondary, like Rasul Douglas is a player. Like he's big, he's strong, he's fast, he can cover, he can tackle. Like Rasul Douglas is a really, really, really good player. Like a really good player. I don't know if they're gonna travel, and have him follow CeeDee Lamb about, but their secondary as a whole is a good secondary. Like I mean, like
they're ranked 6th by Pro Football Focus in coverage.
You hear a lot about Poyer and Hyde, the safeties.
Yeah,
they're
good.
They're good.
They're good, man. Like these are guys who are rangy, who can cover, who can tackle. Like these are good. Like their secondary is their team, and if you want to use the analogy of people, and this is not me, I'm saying what I've heard people say. People will say, Philadelphia is a fraudulent 10-3 team. They'll go, that record should be less. And then people will say, Buffalo ain't no 7-6 team. That record should be better because of what you see when you look at their roster, what you see when you cut on the film. You're going, oh, this team is really good. This isn't a 7-6. Like, don't think when you see 7-6 that this is going to be just a walk-in. Guys will be having sunflower seeds and Twizzlers in the fourth quarter. Yeah. Like, this is not a roster or team that's going to give you that. This team has been in a lot of close games. The ball hadn't bounced in their favor. They've turned the ball over a lot early on. They've had some coaching changes, right? They got rid of Ken Dorsey. Now Joe Brady is their OC, and so they've been doing a lot of different things. In the coaching realm, they've been doing a lot of different things on the field. The turnovers have really hurt them in a lot of these games from Josh Allen, but I mean, this defense has kept them in some games. They can play. They can play. You don't want to go up there and play around with your food. This team, this will be another great test or challenge or whatever Nate says we have to say when it comes to tests and challenges for the Cowboys.
And you were talking about that before we came on the air, that this team is better than their record. What makes you think that?
Their quarterback. If this kid ever get level-minded about, he don't have to win every game, regardless of what their fans think. They got a good enough defense to win, like Jesse said. They got a good enough complement running backs, to do the job. They got a mauling offensive line. They're only giving up 18 sacks. These people can play. But the problem is you go to chirping at their quarterback early in the game, and he gonna show you how great his arm is. And 9 times out of 10, when he go to chirping, it's gonna be 1 or 2 picks. Now they have to spend the rest of the game fighting back from where this kid done just did something wrong. And that's why all the games are close, because now he done figured out, okay, I don't want to throw my 3rd interception by the 3rd quarter. So now he started being that guy, that Dayball. What coach Dayball?
Dayball.
Mm-hmm.
Left. That hurt him. I think they had a relationship where he could talk to the kid and help him explain. I don't know if Diggs helps or hurts. I don't know if, you know what I'm saying? I knew Michael Irvin helped Troy. Even though Mike was fiery and always wanted the ball, it was always, I don't know if they have that relationship where, hey, my man, if you need me, I'm here. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what type of relationship they have.
So you think their team is whatever Josh Allen is on that.
Yeah.
And you know what? We'll talk about that tomorrow. Mm-hmm. We'll talk about that tomorrow.
We got one last thing for you. A guy by the name, the baby of the bunch. He said, he told you to tell me to leave my fellow Louisianan alone about his living situation. Talking about you. I said you from Louisiana and Trailer Parks.
Oh.
He said also tell Shannon my Ruston Bearcats
won the state championship. Yeah, shout out to Ruston. Right down the street from down the street. Yeah, 30 minutes. We had a bunch of powerhouses in North Louisiana that usually play a powerhouse from South Louisiana. Ruston was one of my high school's rivals over 30 minutes down the street. Right next door to Grambling. So Ruston is. So. Cool. Jesse, good seeing you, Nate. Good stuff.
Hey, man, good stuff.
Way to bring it, Jesse. Kurt. Sorry, next time I'll give you more of a heads up.
No,
throw it over to you.
No, because you set him up because you said, hey, Kurt, can you find a stat about Dak playing in cold weather? He's like, okay. Look at
and then I was like, hey, how about some numbers?
Hey, Kurt, how about you give us some numbers from your website? He's like,
I'm a terrible teammate.
Okay.
I'm so sorry.
Chris, I'm three tabs in and trying to find this information you asked for.
Chris, thanks for keeping us on the air. Jazz, thanks for keeping him coming. What's my man's name?
Josh,
thanks for keeping us on all the social channels. We miss
Josh
you, Will.
Gonna snuff you when he sees
we
you.
will see y'all tomorrow. Cowboys defense, Buffalo's offense, and Josh Allen. Same time, same place. If you take a tour, do it at 12. You can come by this window and see us like we're in the zoo.
Flash Nate if you like.
Yes. Or Jesse.
Or Nate.
Or Kurt. See you tomorrow. Hang on, boys.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!